And so the moment I came into the revelation that 90% of what I was hearing is his voice and 10% is not, rather than the other way around, all of a sudden I was like, I am hearing from him. And I began responding to that and trusting that voice.
Hey everyone, this is Alan and Drea with Life to the Fullest. If you guys are new to the channel, remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can receive new content whenever we upload. We have a new guest.
Yay!
Yeah, so, and his name is Michael. He's been such a dear friend. Oh, and actually we are in Santa Cruz. That's why the background looks a little different. Lighting's a little better.
The weather is way better.
Yes. And we're actually at Michael's house, and he's been such a dear friend to us, and he's just taught us so much and given us so many revelations about the Lord, and he has something very special that we just want to get behind, kind of release and promote what he's about, because we really believe in what he's doing and what the Lord's called him to. And we'll link everything down below in the description. So he has a website, Instagram, all that stuff. I think we just had a few questions for you.
Yeah.
But we just want to know, who is Michael Mosley? What is Dreamscape? And how do people get involved?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Just gonna kick back and
Now you hold the ball. To say who is Michael Mosley, you know, I'm a husband to Michelle and a father to my two children. They're 15 and 16 and beautiful. I'm a friend and a son. I'm really a creative. The Lord has put things in me since a child that were real deep. That just means it's taken me a lot of time to be patient, and I need supernatural help to get that, to express myself. If I really want to find the fulfillment, you know, that you feel when you share something, you're like, oh, I really shared that well, you know? Well, when that happens for me, I know it was supernatural, because most of the things I pull out can be pretty rough, right? That's just the way God made me. So, yeah, that's a little bit about who I am. But it also leads into like the dreamscape of the heart. And what is that? I woke one morning and put my feet on the floor, and I heard dreamscape of the heart. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's true. And then I heard in my heart, that's where I minister or talk to you, and that's where you talk to me and minister to me. And I was like, yeah, that explains the space of my dream life so well. It's like, oh, that's what's been going on. That's why I feel the way I do when I wake up. That's why I have this immediate engagement with the Lord, is because before I go to sleep, I'm like, okay, it's mine and your time. And then I go to sleep, and then, so he just gave me this word. Again, he pulled something from deep within and pulled it out, and then inspired me to write it down. And as I wrote it down in the morning, at like 4 in the morning, writing it down, he gave me like 7 topics. In my heart, I felt words and a conviction to write down very specific topics. So I did. Dreamscape of the Heart it's my story, but the process is yours to learn from, to enjoy, and to be activated as well. My delight is to hear the voice of God.
Right.
Wow.
I love that. Like it's everything to me. And so the moment I came into the revelation that 90% of what I was hearing is his voice and 10% is not, rather than the other way around, all of a sudden I was like, I am hearing from him. And I began responding to that and trusting that voice and kind of exploring. And so I started painting, and I started waking up with this dream. I started writing stuff down. I started just cultivating this relationship with the Lord in that way.
So you never necessarily set out with the intention of creating this platform and this experience for others to pursue this dreamscape within their own heart with the Lord. It was really from this place of intimacy that you were cultivating with the Lord.
Right.
And things that he was showing you within your own heart.
Yes.
And then I just heard, as you were sharing, out of our bellies flow rivers of living water.
Yeah.
And it's that deep place, those deep
Yes.
wells that have been really in you from the time of conception, before you were even born.
Really.
The Lord put it there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really beautiful that it's a part of our journey and our life experience and our walk with the Lord, is that over time
Right.
He gets to bring out those rivers that he's already put deep down in there, and it's refreshing for not only you but your family,
Yes.
your friends,
Yes.
and even the nations.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah,
Right.
you guys.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting about the 90-10 thing that you were talking
Right.
about.
Mm.
How it's actually, you're hearing more from God than...
Yes.
Can you just say that one more time for them?
Yeah,
Like-
no, but just for a moment, say, no, I'm going to assume that 90% of what I hear is from the Lord and 10% is on my own.
Mm.
And when you do that, there's something that shifts. You start listening more for his voice inside of you.
Wow.
And he starts to reveal his promise that he's with you always.
That's right.
And as that becomes a reality, then it's pretty obvious that 90% is his voice, because he's the faithful one, right? So when we do that, then it gives us, his voice of direction is encouraging. It doesn't like make you want to run away from him. It makes you want to draw to him.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start making the assumption that his voice is what you're hearing, then your heart is drawn more to him, and the relationship then starts to grow.
That's so good.
That's
That's-
beautiful.
The way I break into that and the way I encourage people to do that is by sharing my process, which was, he said, go to the dollar store. In my heart, I heard, go to the dollar store, get some paints, and get a brush and start painting. These are things I knew nothing about. So whenever you hear something random that the Lord invites you to do, this is what I encourage people. Like, ask him to ask you to do something random that you don't know how to do, because then he doesn't need your pre-qualified or your disqualification.
That's good.
He's
Just
like,
needs your yes.
I just need your yes to go do it. And then you go do it, and he's like, oh, good. Now you're really listening, because it's like, I mean, if he asked us to build a fence or something, we do nothing, we didn't even know what a fence was, we'd be listening very closely to every step he led us.
Right.
But if he asked us to drink a cup of coffee, that he wanted to show us how to drink a cup of coffee, we would drink it and go, okay, show us. We would jump ahead of him, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's nice to explore things we don't know what we're doing, simply for the purpose of hearing his voice louder.
Wow.
Right.
You know?
That's so great. Such a great insight. Yeah.
Do you think you could elaborate just on when people say just being led by the Lord or hearing his voice, just what does that mean?
Mhm.
Like from an impression or feeling or leading or audible or, you know,
Mhm.
just because I don't know, like some of you might say, what does that mean? What?
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's like hearing a whisper, you know? And sometimes we hear noises with our ears, and sometimes we hear with our eyes. That sounds really kind of weird, right? But actually we sense things, right?
Right.
And remember, let's go back to who created us. Him. And he created us in his image. And so he created us and designed us to be in fellowship with him. So he's got the communication part taken care of,
Right.
right? And so the voice of God is not always in English,
Yeah.
is what I'm
Yes.
saying. It's in an intuition. It's the way he designed you dynamically, right? It's some people feel, some people have a knowing, some people audibly do hear. It's just variations of direction. The way I like to start with it, when I'm in a place where the world is very loud and I can't hear him, I just say, okay, Lord, I need something. And that little thing that happens, I go, okay, I told you I needed something. And there's the little thing. I'm going for it. If that's not it, I know you love me and you're going to help me. Right?
Right.
So it's about taking the step. Someone once said, you can't steer a parked car, you know, so you have to be moving so he can direct you. And so it's like, just start taking those little steps towards the voice that you think is his, and offer your heart to him and say, I want you to guide me. And he is so fast. The Lord, our Lord, is so fast and faithful to rush in and be like, okay, because that's his promise. He said, I'll send my spirit to you that will guide you and teach you and lead you.
Right.
These are the very, not to say elementary, but foundational promises of God, is that A, you're not alone,
That's right.
and B, I will lead you and direct you, not control you, and those things, right?
Right.
Because he said, I will never leave you or forsake you. And I mean, just imagine the Lord is waiting to talk to you. Something I felt from the Lord, like he's like, I'm always releasing words, but it's like people aren't always listening. So
Right.
he's really talking about just making a space to
That's right.
receive and to hear from him. Hearing in the heart, hearing from the ears, hearing from the eyes. Nose, I've heard of testimonies
Yeah.
of people smelling
That's right.
certain things, and
And-
it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why? Because the Lord he likes to break our box.
Yeah.
And what I
Yes.
mean by that is break our
Mhm.
expectations, lead us, and it's like, well, okay, Lord, and he's just talking about really being sensitive enough and dependent enough
Yes.
to just lean into him.
Yeah.
So that's what he's talking about. So yeah, sneaky
Yeah.
preach.
Yeah. No, it's good because I think we all have that, right? Like you have your process and your story, both of you guys, of how you started to and or start listening to the Lord, and then how you rescue yourself, if you will, or allow him to rescue you in the midst of a terrible day. Right? Everybody has like their go-to, and my heart was, I have a go-to that I want to share with people, not that you go get paint and do what I do, but the thing I'm releasing to you becomes, it activates a little voice in you that goes, maybe you should go do this. So that my story would then inspire the same thing in you. Dreamscape is a place that wants to cultivate that in people and celebrate that diversity about people. I like to ask it this way. What's the one truth that you would hold on to? The one, not 25. The one truth about God that you would hold on to in the midst of a rainstorm, when you had nothing, when you couldn't hold on to anything, but it was the one thing you could hold really tight in your hand. What would that be? And once you know what that one truth would be, then tell us how you use that truth in your life every day. And when you do that, it gives a story about you and your life and your relationship with God that inspires other people, that say, oh, you don't know how bad I am. Oftentimes we disqualify ourselves, right?
That's so true.
It's so easy to do. The world helps us do that.
Yes.
But God put something in everyone. Everyone. It's called hope. He seeded everyone with hope. The question is, where are we going to get that seed watered? Are we going to let the world water that seed? Or are we going to ask him to water it? And at any time, we can change. We can switch from God to the world, from the world to God. And so you have a seed of hope in you, as good, bad, indifferent you are, and you can just ask him to water it. And when he waters it, guess what happens that's different from the world? He fulfills it. He fulfills the hope in you. He assures the hope in you. And when he assures the hope in you, the seed grows. And it becomes what? A tree of life. And you become a tree of life. And then what happens? What do you imagine happens when you're a tree of life? Birds come, people come to get shade and to eat the fruit. So people come.
Right.
And they're around you. And so this is like love, create, live.
Yeah.
Right? We love because we're loved. We create because we were created by the Creator. And we live because that's what we create. We create life. Everyone has been seeded with hope, and that's God's promise is to assure that hope. You know?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can segue into a piece of his content. He's letting us just view you guys view it, and then you can check out other things, and we'll talk about it a little bit after.
The disciples asked Jesus, "What must we do to do the work of God?" And Jesus said, "Believe in me and the one who sent me." God gave you his Son, unlocking and fulfilling the conditions of his eternal promise. Life abundantly is a perspective of truth that has been freely given to you. The freedom to embrace righteousness, peace, and joy. When you believe in Jesus, the eternal promise is without condition. It can be yours now, in this very present moment, if you will receive it. No longer will you have to wait for the sunset to have joy. Joy is a promise that has been given to you without condition. And joy cultivates peace within you.
Yeah, the team is
Excellent
awesome.
quality.
I mean, they really, there's a group of us that we all come together and we build it, and it's a lot of fun, but also we're listening spontaneously to the direction of how to do it.
Yeah.
The words to write, the film to catch, the place to go do these things. And really, it's an invitation to say, hey, if you were stimulated by the things that were spoken in that time, then first of all, watch it again.
Right.
Like, it's not a once off. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it just, for lack of a better word, the vibration of it, the vibe of it just really just touches my heart. And it doesn't leave me to meditate on what was said as much as it stimulates something else inside of me.
Yeah.
And that's our heart, right? It's not that you would fall so in love with the content that we create, but that it would stimulate something inside of you to give attention to.
Yeah.
So-
Even awaken something inside that
Exactly.
you may not know is there.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally. That it would, like what we talked about earlier, it would create space, safe space. That's really important, right? Is to create a space for the miraculous to happen in your life. And so that's our hope. And the one that we just released is Create Your Calling. And that's to say that to create is your calling. People say often, well, what is my calling? Well, rather than getting into the details of it, we could probably start with to create is your calling. You say, well, how do I know that? Well, because the Creator created you in His image.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
he's
it's kind of a
creating.
no-brainer, right? It's like, well, I know I'm supposed to create. And you're like, well, I'm not good at anything. And He says, perfect. That's exactly where I want you to be, is without, in total dependence. And so
Right.
come and let me show you what I put inside of you that I want to draw out.
Right.
Right.
And so in that film, like, you saw him paint and speak, and so he has a lot of beautiful artwork too that's featured on the
thank you.
website, and beautiful encounters, and just to go and look at, check out. But also, I just want to ask, like, what's the best way they can get involved? How to? We can link everything, but
Yeah.
just
I think just check us out. Dreamscape of the Heart. YouTube is the best. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, if you like the content, subscribe and also share it. And if you want to go deeper, then you can check out our website, dreamscapeoftheheart.com.
And we just really believe that this time together is something that the Lord's using to speak to you and to encourage you. Maybe you are a business person or a
Right.
teacher, or you're a mom, you are a missionary. We have subscribers all over the world, and we just feel like the Lord wants you to know that you are creative.
Yeah.
And just like Michael said, there's a seed of hope inside of you. And we are just believing, even now as we're together, that the Lord is watering that seed of hope
Yeah.
as you are listening to us and taking in this segment of the inspirational short that we shared with you today. We're just believing that the Lord is doing something right now in your life as
Yeah.
you're taking all this in. Michael, maybe you could just release like an
Yeah.
invitation, and
Yeah.
just anyone out there who wants to receive. Maybe you have this desire to draw closer to the Lord and to just learn how to hear His voice more clearly. That's something I feel like we're always growing in.
right.
So we want to partner with you in that too, and just believing that the Lord is speaking to you today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, right now I just released to you in the environment that you're in, I speak shalom. Shalom and peace into the environment that you're in. Yeah. Just go ahead and close your eyes and receive the gift, like you're receiving a gift that's being given to you. And I just thank the Lord for each and every one of you, and for the way that He built you uniquely and beautifully. I see an ember inside of you that is ready to receive a little bit of wind, right? And when that wind hits it, it just glows. And let the message that comes from that ember just be really clear to you right now. Yeah. So I thank you, Lord, for providing us with direction and insight into the next steps to take. But also, you just release courage and faith and excitement, joy about trying something new. So you've received your instruction in your heart. Yeah. If you're still waiting, it's okay. Yeah. He's faithful to show you what to do. Yeah. So I just bless you.
You can feel the peace. It's
So
just
good.
resting. Yeah.
I just feel like there's a Margaret out there.
Mm.
He's just looking at you, Margaret.
Wow.
He loves you so much.
Mm. Mm.
That's it, the Margaret.
That's good. I feel like I heard the name Amber. When Michael said Ember, I heard Amber.
That's good.
So, yeah, just Amber. Believe you're going to watch this. You're going to be touched. And I also feel like there's people who are going to see this and you are going to resonate just with this sense of maybe you were a child, teenager growing
Yeah.
up and your creativity was shut down and it wasn't welcomed, it wasn't supported or encouraged, and you didn't feel like you had a safe space to create
really good.
or a safe space to dream. And we just want to release freedom.
Yeah.
Dream.
Christ has set us free. Yeah. So we just release the freedom that we have in Christ over you. You are free to create because the Creator created you. Our Father, He is creative, so we are creative, just like Michael said. We say it's time to awaken
Yes.
and to be fully you, fully who the Lord created you to be.
Right. And this is something that Andrea and I mean, he's a personal friend, but we're not getting paid to do this, but we're just doing this for Michael and for you guys because we really believe in what he's doing.
Yeah.
And we just want to
Thank you.
give him the opportunity. We'd love for you guys to get involved. Just at least check out his website, check out his inspirational shorts, leave comments on his social media, Instagram and stuff like that, just to kind of get it moving. And who knows, like you guys could get really touched and rocked by his content, and you can do it all from your own home.
That's
That's
right.
right.
And that's a safe place.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a room, a closet, a kitchen area. Make the kids some peanut bean and shade sandwiches while you can just get alone and see what the Lord has for you in
That's
that
right.
safe place.
Right.
Yeah. I also felt like I just heard two things. I feel like there might be individuals watching today. You have family members that you're praying for who don't know the Lord yet. You have maybe neighbors, people that are in your life that are maybe they're open, like they're receptive, they believe in other things, but maybe they don't realize that Jesus is the way. And I feel like this Dreamscape of the Heart could be something you could easily share with your friends and family, those who don't know the Lord yet. It's a great way to introduce them to the Creator, to the Lord, and just let Him do what He's going to do and let Him work in their hearts. But you could actually just share the link with them, share this video with them, and just see what the Lord does. I really felt that. Also, we have a lot of subscribers who are women, and you are, constantly putting in the comments that you are waiting for your spouse, and we are praying for those of you who've even reached out to say you're waiting, and you've asked us questions about our journey and our process of waiting. And I just felt like there's something about you actually taking time to go deeper in your relationship with the Lord, and this platform, Dreamscape of the Heart, is a great way to do that. Maybe you could be at a crossroads or a place where you feel a little stagnant and you're looking for a deeper devotional time with the Lord. This could be a great place to start and to actually invest in yourself and in a relationship with the Lord. And as you draw nearer to Him, He's going to bring that man who is going to pursue you. And really, you want to attract a person who is after the heart of God, but you need to be after the heart of God first in order to attract that.
Yeah.
So I just felt
That's
to
so good.
encourage our subscribers, especially men and women, but those of you who've specifically reached out to us with those kinds of questions, I just felt like this could be a great avenue for you.
I just want to say thank you to the people that have taken time and to give attention to watch Andrea and Alan and what they're doing, because as a friend, as someone who loves them dearly, I get to see how encouraged they are and how activated they are by your interest in them and what it draws out in them. And it really draws out the best in them. And they start cultivating and asking questions, and they get to actually love you. And for as weird as that sounds, it's the world that we live in, right? But they really do. And they pray, and they think about you, and they're constantly pulling on one another. And how can we love the people that are paying attention? They feel a responsibility. And so that comes from a participation and your yes to kind of step into this digital community, if you will, with them, and make it real. So all this could not be possible without you and your support and love of them and their show. And I know some things that are going on too that are really exciting about just, other areas and other expressions in their heart that they're, really thinking about how do we articulate that and share that with the people that watch and love us. So, hey, also keep them in your prayers.
Right.
Seriously, please do that, because they're definitely felt. And so I just felt to say thank you. Yeah.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do pray for you guys. I read all the comments and we talk about them. But if you've never commented before, we don't know who you are, and we'd love to know who you are. So just even leave a comment saying, hey, where you're from, because I love to know where people are from. And he was actually a missionary in Africa for all the Africans. Like there's been a lot of African people that have just tuned into our show.
Oh, awesome.
So
yeah.
It's just been fantastic.
Yeah, that's so neat. God is so good.
Yeah. But we can't talk forever, and I know you guys got to do things, but we appreciate you showing up and just giving us some time, giving the Lord some space.
Yeah.
And we just really appreciate you guys. Remember to live your life to the fullest, and we hope that you have a wonderful day. God bless.